Hey, what is up guys, it's Venom here, and today guys we're going to be covering my top 10 favorite zombie maps in my order of favorites. But before I begin, all the gameplay that you're going to see, especially this one right here, all came from YouTubers, so I will be giving them credit, either saying their name, and by putting it in the description below. So, today guys I'll be covering my favorite zombie maps from World at War to Black Ops 3, sorry Infinite Warfare, you suck, and Exo Zombies, I'm not putting it in there. So, so yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and let's start off right about now. Alright guys, coming in at number 10, we have Shadows of Evil, and I actually surprised myself when I threw this on the list. The reason why I threw it on this list is because when I think of zombies, I think of challenging, and I think of the bosses on the map. And for me, I think Shadows of Evil fits that description perfectly, because when I play Shadows of Evil, I try to do like I try to do the Easter egg. And for me, that's difficult for me. Doing an Easter egg is difficult, and going high rounds is difficult, especially when I don't get the Apothecary Servant. So I like to challenge myself, and Shadows of Evil is that challenge. It brings the challenge to the table. I mean, you get the shield, and which is the big part, is the shield and the Apothecary Servant and the sword. So there's a lot of things in the map that makes it, not an easy map, but makes it like easier to get high rounds on, especially like my friend Packer Puncher actually hit 120, the Apothecary Servant. I don't know how many downs he had, but I mean, it's just my opinion is it's easier than some of the bare bones World at War where you had no shield, and basically when it was harder to get to the high rounds. Not saying it's hard, it's not hard now. It's very hard to get to high rounds, but some people just find it so easy in Black Ops 3 that I kind of feel like when I think about Shadows of Evil, it's easier to get to a higher round because of Widow's Wine, and because the Apothecary Servant, because of the sword, because of little Arnie's too. I think they're better than monkeys. So that's why it comes in at number 10, because it's a challenging map, especially with that Margla. So yeah, and a huge shout out to TheSmithPlays for this gameplay, and link will be in the description. Alright guys, coming in at number 9, we have Verrückt, and this gameplay is from IISteveII, or LL whatever your name is, bro. Good game on this map, actually. And the reason why Verrückt comes in at number 9 is because when I think of Verrückt, I think of a very challenging map, because number 1, no shield, number 2, no pack punch. So when you don't have those things, it becomes a really hard it's a really hard game, because when you don't have pack punch alone, trying to get past like the upper 30s can become a little challenging, especially on Verrückt, when you have to rely on your training skills, and if you don't have them, and you don't have the perks are in terrible locations, I feel. So if you're trying to go for high rounds on Verrückt, it's going to be pretty challenging. You're in for a fun time, because I feel the perks are in terrible spots, and there's really nothing that you could do, and that makes the map a whole lot of fun. So trying to get high rounds on this map is so fun. So that's why it comes in at number 9, because you have no shield, you have no pack punch, kind of like Shinonuma, but Shinonuma is kind of like annoying, and especially in World at War, you can run the strategy that you can get pretty high in. I've seen it before, so that's why I decided to put Verrückt on the list instead, because when I think of Verrückt, I think of a very challenging map. I think of a map where if I really want to, when I want to have fun, I load up Black Ops 1. If I want to have fun, I either load up Kino, Nacht, or Verrückt, because they're very challenging maps, and those other two will be featuring on this list. So that's why Verrückt comes in at number 9, guys. Alright guys, coming in at number 8, we have The Giant, and for this gameplay I have to thank a blazing Typhoon. This is The Giant coming in at number 8, and the reason why I chose The Giant for number 8 is because this is a really challenging map, and when you throw The Giant into the rest of the Black Ops 3 maps, what really led me to putting this on this list is no shield. and this map is difficult, and especially when you don't get a shield, that makes it even harder, I feel. So that's why I'm gonna put the Giant on this list, because when you don't have a shield and you could still get 100+ rounds, like my friend Genesis Legend and Mr. Fani, Titanic, those three guys, I've seen them get 100+ on this map, and it's so challenging because when you look at it, I mean, you can get a Perkaholic, which is very helpful, but you don't have a shield, but you do have the Wonder Waff, which is kind of like, makes me think of Shadows of Evil. When you look at Shadows of Evil, you have the Apothecary Servant, and for me, the Apothecary Servant is just like the Wonder Waff, but the Wonder Waff is not as good, which is why Shadows of Evil got placed a little higher, because the Apothecary Servant is pretty OP. But then when you look at the Wonder Waff, it doesn't have as good as stats, and it doesn't kill as many zombies at once. So that's why I'm going to put the Giant over Shadows, and especially because Shadows has a shield. And there's no Widow's Wine either on the Giant, which makes this even harder. So that's why the Giant's going to come in at number 8, because again, no shield and no Widow's Wine makes this map super challenging. The Wonder Waff is pretty OP, but at the same time, it's not the same OP as the Apothecary Servant, so that's why the Giant takes the number 8 spot. Alright guys, coming in at number 7, we have DsK or DE, and before we start off this section, I just want to say a huge shout out to Set of NinjaNation Gaming for this gameplay. This is actually a tutorial on how to get the bow on round 1, so if you're interested in that, check out NinjaNation Gaming. So, the reason why I put DE at number 7, and I know I might get a lot of hate for that, but the next one's going to even throw a lot more people off, because that's going to be a shock to some people. But yeah, DE comes in at number 7. And the reason why I think it comes in at number 7, because the bows. For me, the bows, it's like Origins, but Origins was really challenging, and it felt like the staffs kind of made the map easier, but the staffs weren't like, they didn't make it where you could easily get 100, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I think that DsK is kind of lower on this list, because if you have the lightning bow, you're pretty much set, because that's the best bow and it's pretty OP. So I mean, I think, but when you play DsK, it's so fun. New aspects to the map came with the Ragnaroks, and the Ragnaroks were super awesome. Like, I mean, just OP. And getting high rounds on this map weren't necessarily easy, which is why I think why it even makes this list, because it wasn't easy to get high rounds, especially with the Panzer and the Dog. So you have 2 bosses in one. I felt that made this map super challenging, especially the Panzer. But with the death ray strategy, I mean, you could get pretty high. And huge shout out to Genesis Legend today, who hit round 210 no jug. That's the new world record. So yeah, Genesis Legend, baby, check him out. And DsK numbers. Alright guys, what's gonna get me a lot of hate based off gameplay, number 6 is none other than Mob of the Dead. And the reason why Mob of the Dead comes in at number 6, for me, if I was thinking of the best maps, Mob of the Dead would definitely be in the top 5. But for my favorite maps, I'm gonna choose Mob of the Dead, because the Easter egg put me in so much stress trying to solve that Easter egg, trying to beat that Easter egg, trying to get the achievement. And I love this map to death. The Blundercat was so fun to use. The Afterlife was such a fun aspect to the game. Electric Cherry was introduced, which I loved. The Gondola was a new way of getting to different parts. It introduced the fact where in DsK, where you have to feed the dragon to get the bows, where you're introduced to where you had to feed the dogs. The zombie souls to get, what's it called? The zombie souls to get the Hell's Retriever, which, again, another new aspect which made this map so fun. I don't think there was anything in this map that made it easy, because Brutus made things so impossible and just unbelievable. Trying to camp on the Golden Gate to upgrade the Hell's Retriever to the Hell's Redeemer was, like, impossible. And then just the aspects of the Easter egg where you got the comic books with the skulls. That was crazy. The Golden Spork, which was another new aspect, getting a super OP melee weapon. Unlike, like, we were given the Bowie knife, but that's not really OP compared to the Golden Spork, which was like a one hit until like round 31 or 32. Which, and it's a new aspect. So Mob of the Dead brought a lot of new aspects to the game that we have not yet been introduced to. So that's why I loved Mob of the Dead, but the Easter egg put me through a lot of stress, and also just, what else for me, it doesn't have the same nostalgia as some of the other maps. So that's why Mob of the Dead comes in at number 6. Alright guys, coming in at number 5, I have Nocturne in World at War and Black Ops 1. Mostly the World at War edition, because the World at War edition, we had the flamethrower. And in a couple of moments, you will see that flamethrower, if you have not already. And basically, guys, I think Nocturne Totem comes in at number 5 for me, because as I was saying in Mob of the Dead one, the nostalgia of it. I grew up playing zombies in the Black Ops 1 era, when Black Ops 1 was before Call of the Dead came out, I believe. Not exactly sure. I gotta remember when Call of the Dead came out, and I gotta remember when Shangri-La came out. I gotta remember when those maps came out. But, I grew up before Black Ops 2 came out. So I was a Black Ops 1 era. And when I played the Nocturne Totem remake on Black Ops 1, like, oh, this is so fun. And then I got the game World at War, and I played the Zombies mode. After the campaign, I played Nocturne Totem, and it was so much different. And I said, this is awesome. This is mind-blowing. And I said, I will never forget playing this, and I will always come back to it, you know? So, I mean, when you think of Nocturne Totem, you think of bare bones, no shield, no pack-a-punch, like, hardly any training. Black Ops 1, you can't train. But World at War, you can get really high rounds. I've gotten 100 plus on that. So, but I think of that bare bones, camping upstairs, right by the bunker, by the stairs. So, I mean, yeah, Nocturne Totem comes in at number 5, guys, because of the nostalgia effect that it has. Alright, guys, coming in at number 4, we have Keynote Totem, and the same with Nocturne Totem is the nostalgia effect the map has on me. And, the reason why Kino came in at number 4, because that was the first map I ever played in my Zombies career. And I remember I was grinding on that map for so long, and it was just insane. And before I continue on, I just want to say a huge shout out to StarSnipe-DailyVideos. That's who is this gameplay is from. So yeah, huge shout out, guys. Descriptions are all links are all going to be in the description, so if you want to check out their channels after, you can. So yeah. But Keynote Totem was the first map I ever got a 50 plus round on. I think I got like 70 something, like, after a long time of grinding. And I'm like, this is not the end. This is not where I'm gonna end it off. I'm gonna hit 100 on this map. Sadly, I never did, but I've only hit 100 on World at War not, so. But I remember just growing up, just training on the stage, the Nova Crawlers, which were so much pain and stress, camping on the stage, and having that door, the claymores blowing up all over the place. It was just insane. And the monkey bombs were in the map now, and it was crazy. And the whole fact that to pack a punch, you have to turn the teleporter on. You can only go once per like round and a half, which is just so much new aspects to the game. Looking on it now, that's just the aspects that Keynote Totem brought. There was no shield, and not having the shield definitely made it hard, because you would get hit in the back so many times. And just honestly, Keynote Totem, when I think about it, that's still a map I want to go back and play and try to get 100 on. That's a map I still have a goal to hit 100 on. I mean, I have a goal to hit 100 on every map, but one of the maps I want to hit 100 on first is Kino. And it's for that nostalgia reason, and the reason that I have never hit 100 yet on that map. Excuse me. So that's why Kino comes in at number 4, guys, because I remember just playing this map, and because I hated 5 and I hated Dead Ops Arcade, so I would only play Kino, and I would grind the living heck out of Kino, because I remember just wanting to hit 100. So number 4 is Kino der Toten. Alright, guys, coming in at the number 3 spot is Darius World at War Black Ops 1, and this gameplay comes from, don't laugh at the name, it's the only gameplay that I could find that could suit what I'm using this video on. I'm Bryan and I'm Sexy. I know. If you had face cam, you'd see the face of disappointment. But in all seriousness, guys, I think Rise comes in this because, especially World at War when you have the PPSH, and just the map itself was a fun map. So that's why I feel it comes on the list, because I remember playing Rise on Black Ops 1. So for me, Rise is a very, very just very nostalgic map. No shield, like the original perks, especially World at War. Double tap was terrible, and the perk locations again aren't the best. Jug was a common spot. I died, so I mean, honestly, there's not much else I could say about it. So Rise comes in number 3 because it's just the nostalgic effect, and it was just such a fun map. It's one of the best maps out there. So Rise number 3. Alright guys, coming in at number 2, we have none other than Origins from Black Ops 2, and this gameplay is from BlackOpsAmazing. Go drop a sub. Comes out with good stuff. So Origins comes in at number 2 because even though you had the shield and the staffs, the Panzer was pretty freaking OP. Caused a lot of my games to end, and the Easter egg alone, I've never beat the Easter egg. I've tried so many times. The farthest I've ever gotten was when you gotta take the arrow strike grenades and blow up the airplane with then send the Max Destroyer in. And I mean, Origins was just such a great map because it was one of those maps where if you wanted to just do high rounds and just get the staffs and upgrade the staffs, it still wasn't easy. The Thunder Gloves were pretty hard to get. That's the thing. There's so many new things that were introduced in Origins. The Thunder Gloves, which I would have loved to see return, or still see to return sometime. The staffs. The arrow strike grenades, which were super OP. Those things were they destroyed the zombies. So, and then you have the new guns, the MG08, and the Scars in zombies, and I loved the Scar. The Scar was my favorite gun to use. It's just freaking beast. So you could rip zombies apart with it. So Origins comes in at number 2 because the challenge of the map, the challenge of the Easter egg, and the challenge of the steps of the Easter egg, and the new things that were introduced into the map. So yeah, Origins comes in at the number 2 spot. Alright guys, so the number 1 spot is Ascension from Black Ops 1, and this gameplay comes from the name is subscribe for more videos, and he said in his video his name was Midnight, so that's who we're going to give credit for this gameplay too. And the reason that I'm going to throw Ascension in at the number 1 spot is because that map for me was so fun. The landers, the sickle, the perks. I mean, the monkeys made it pretty, annoying, but I mean, just even I forgot to say this in the keynote. The thunder gun and the ray gun, just so fun. They were fun aspects to the game, and the perks, I guess you could say, besides Jug, they really weren't in bad locations, and we actually saw stamina up on Ascension. So I felt that this was an interesting map. Number 1, because I love history, and it was in Russia, and it felt like it was like a World War II kind of thing. Not even World War II, but yeah, World War II, Soviet Union. So it was pretty interesting to me. And then you have just that zombies feel to it, and we got introduced to the Gersh device, which is basically, number 1, it's like the Ray Gun Mark III from Gurad Krobi, and it's like the Apothicon Servant in a way where it just absorbs the zombie. So without the Gersh device, you couldn't do the Easter egg, which this Easter egg I've only beaten once, and I'm pretty proud of it. It's one of the only Easter eggs I've beaten, and I couldn't even tell you the steps today. I don't remember them. So I mean, honestly, Ascension was a special map for me, again, because as I said before, I grew up in the Black Ops 1 era of zombies, and honestly, I loved Ascension. It was my favorite, it is my favorite map, because I love the history aspect of it, of where it takes place, and I just love the new aspects brought to the map, and the fact that there's no shield. Black Ops 1 loves to just throw in no shield in the maps. So, honestly, guys, yeah. That's my list, and Ascension tops the list at number 1, so thank you guys for watching. So there you guys have it. That is my list of my top 10 favorite maps. And if your map A did not make it on the list, or B was not in this fight,
song is dedicated to all the mature young minds out there, setting goals and achieving their dreams, one step at a time, one day at a time.
Little boy been old, that's what I've been told. Came about the struggle, no more getting into trouble. Now he on a different hustle, elevating through the rubble. Gotta get it on the double before his dreams crumble. Now you see the stage lights, time to hit the stage, right? Wait, gotta make sure the game tight. Then he grabbed the mic and let it flow from his soul. Let the feeling take hold for a minute, then he goes out of control, spitting with a passion. Cause life ain't everlasting unless you make it. So when the light's flashing, it's time to take action. Gaining no distraction with the music he's attracting. Fans and girls are attaching. Can't change his pace though, just because of distractions. You gotta make moves, keep it cool and play it smooth. Man, study the rules, you should know what to do. Keep focused, grind hard, get noticed. Then you may not know it, but the money ain't the motive. It's the feeling that he gets when the fans take notice. So he shines bright underneath them stage lights. Yeah, it's the fine life that he was meant to write, like he was sent with life. A blessing with a message that he got from learning lessons. Gotta get it, then he goes. Stick and move, pick and roll, doing shows out on the road now. All grown now, and he barely ever home now. Got his mama asking why ain't picking up the phone now. It's cause he in the zone now, focused on the throne now. Maybe far from home, but he bigging up his hometown. All grown now, and he barely ever home now. Got his mama asking why ain't picking up the phone now. It's cause he in the zone now, focused on the throne now. Maybe far from home, but he bigging up his hometown. On for city, yeah, BK, home of the gritty, where we get it like each day. Spitting game like freeway, speeding on the freeway. Yeah, we getting money, man. Shout out to my DJ. Put this shit on replay. I'm grinding since pre-K, and I had to grow up fast, but now life's a blast, man. Bring another bottle and forget the glass, cause tonight I'm celebrating. Yeah, it's a celebration. Keep that sour in rotation. Damn, it feels amazing to wake up on a day when you can finally make it, and no one can say shit. Can't slack or fake it. No dreams are given, you gotta work hard and take it. So he's all grown now, and he barely ever home now. Got his mama asking why ain't picking up the phone now. It's cause he in the zone now, focused on the throne now. Maybe far from home, but he bigging up his hometown. All grown now, and he barely ever home now. Got his mama asking why ain't picking up the phone now. It's cause he in the zone now, focused on the throne now. Maybe far from home, but he bigging up his hometown.
You guys like these posters? It's pretty much how it's gonna stay. I'm gonna add a couple more. I have more posters here because I just moved into this room. I was gonna do a room reveal, but it's so messy. I don't want to do that. So yeah, guys, that was the video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and please have a great day. I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving, and yeah, make sure to leave a like on this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Sets. Song is dedicated to all the mature young minds out there, setting goals and achieving their dreams, one step at a time, one day at a time.
Little boy been